Sweet. And we are off for another live edition, making you a bartending pro. I'm Jason, and on this show, we will talk about bartending, usually, but we can talk about whatever. Let me turn on a little tunage here. So how are you? How's the week? How you guys been? What's been cracking? What's new? Hold on, I'm almost there, guys. Almost there. What happens if I do this? Orientation. We won't do that. Never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. You guys hear me all right, by the way? Turn this all the way up. There we go. Took a second for it to show up. Okay, so we're rolling. I got you guys. How are y'all? My man shaking the house. Juan Oriana, what's up? I am not currently bartending. I am doing a live stream. No, just kidding. No, I actually officially retired from my bartending gig this year to move into full-time digital media. As I've said, I still have lots of cool stuff that I want to get out on this channel before I completely step away from it. And yeah, 15 years behind the bar. There's still a lot of information that I want to get out on this channel before I quote unquote retire or anything like that. So anyway, I'm not officially bartending anymore. Well, not like in a full-time sense. I'll still do parties and stuff, whatever, for friends, but my days as a bartender bar manager are basically retired. So right on. Asher Flynn, Brendan to Nike. I like saying that wrong. I know that's not right. Cheers, y'all. I'm drinking some 10-barrel swill. Swill. American Radler, which is a malt liquor beverage. It's kind of very light and crispy, you know, because not into those heavy IPAs that are so popular. I blame it on my immature palate. Not immature, I just don't have an advanced enough palate. My man shaking the house. How are you, y'all? Got a blizzard warning for the next 2 days, and it was over 80 today. I get a blizzard coming tomorrow. It's gonna go from 80 to minus 80. At your house, Shake? That's fucking crazy. Weather has lost its goddamn mind out there. Asher Flynn, brand new bartender here. You've definitely helped me out more than my managers. Welcome to the industry, buddy. A lot of sink or swim that happens around here for sure. Cheers Hotel. Give us something out of the box. What do you mean out of the box? Like a beatbox? Just kidding. I can't do that. I won't even try. Maybe once upon a time, when I thought I was gangsta. That's all I got out of the box. What else do I got around here? I don't know. I was looking for something to juggle. That's an out of the box circus trick that I got. Max Delacote. Delacote? Hello. Eder Alvarez, what's up? So good to see y'all. Sorry I was gone last week. I was a little under the weather. Wasn't feeling so awesome. Back this week. Shake, my man, is here. I didn't really have anything planned, but just a cool sort of milestone for the channel. Officially passed 70,000 subscribers. So thank you for being part of that. If you are a subscriber, appreciate it. Massive support and love for all y'all out there. And just as continuing reminder that this information is valuable to you guys. And that is why I keep doing it, not because I just really want to talk into a camera and to people on the other side of it, or that I have some massive ego that just wants to just keep doing this. I do it because it brings value to you guys. And it's kind of like, this is my little project of giving back to the world in some weird way. So it's the best way I can do it at the moment, so I do it. And when I keep getting a growing viewership, it just shows that it's valuable to you guys. So thank you very much. It's all about the cocktail. What's up? So right on, Asher. Congrats, man. Asher. That could be boy, girl. Sorry. Man, dude, girl. Hard to tell. That's a name. Could go either way. Stoked on your bartending. Well done. Harrison James Cashin. What's up? Opening the sliding glass walls out for the outdoor seating at my restaurant for the first time this year. Doing amazing weather in Baltimore right now. Right on. It's still cold up here in the Northwest because I'm up in Oregon now. So it was starting to get warm, and then basically last night it kind of switched back to wintertime, and mountains are getting pummeled with snow, which I love that because I'm a big snowboard ski junkie. I wonder if it's the same system that's coming at you, Shake, that's going to give you a blizzard, because it's pretty aggressive. It's kind of glancing us. We're not really catching it full force, but yeah, that's nice, Ariston. I think you did this last time, and I was fucking up your name. One of the things I love to do is just completely butcher names, so we're just gonna keep on with that. Weather was nice past couple days in Colorado, where Shake's at. Windows down all day long. Very nice. Cool thing is, yes, I do. I love to just destroy names. What's the proper way to pronounce your last name, Brendan? Spell it out phonetically for me, so I quit fucking it up. That has been nice, though, to have the sun out. You know, it's still 7:30, and I can still see sunlight out there. Not like light, but like sunlight. Hey, Romero, wearing a sweater while I'm here in Arizona wearing nothing because it's hot. Yeah, up in the Northwest in Oregon, I was just saying wintertime came back in last night. It's like snowing on the hill, and it's a little bit chilly down in town. So, yeah, but you're in Arizona. The missus down in San Diego, she said the same thing. It was like 85 degrees yesterday in San Diego, so. Denike, is that right? Denike? Did I say that right? Denike. Nope. Denike? Denike? No? The E on the end. Denike? Oh man, I'm just fucking it all up. We'll just leave it at Denike. Denike. Denike? Oh man. We're just gonna continue on butchering it. What are some food drink combos you like? Well, like me personally, or like in an establishment? Denike. Denike. Someone call you. Me personally, I'm a healthy guy for the most part, although restaurant style, oh man, that's a tough one. Salty, so for a bar, right? Because we're talking about bars first and foremost on this show and this channel. Salty food is shown to encourage people to drink more. So that's where kind of one of the reasons that the bar pretzels have stuck around, right? The original idea was to give people something to drink that absorbs some of the booze, so it slows down the rate at which they're absorbing alcohol. And then they also found that the saltiness kind of has the opposite effect. So it's a little give and take, but Danica, something like that. Or just fucking with your name, Brendan. And so, I mean, that's a good go-to, but that's like super broad, right? What does that even mean? Personally, I like Mexican food. I like sushi, like some burger craves. Generally, the way I eat is like super healthy. Food drink combos. See, I'm not like a food pairing guy. I'm not the craft dude. If you give me a plate of food, I can make a drink for it. But if you want me to make like a food drink pairing combo for a menu, it's not gonna be my strong point. Just think like styles of foods. What are you making? What's the style of food at the restaurant that you're at? Or for the people that you're making food for that you want to do? And then, you know, savory stuff, you want something lighter, or to match it, you know, red meats, you can do wines or IPA style beers. So I don't know. I'm kind of worthless on that one, A. Romero. I do apologize. Why did it Cheers Hotel? I didn't like your comment. That's funny. What's your February cocktail? Tell us a recipe also. We'll get to that one. Hold on a second, because I'm skipping questions, so I don't want to miss anybody. So we'll get back up. We'll get to them. Remember, if you have a question, hang tight, and we'll get to it. Harrison James Cashin. I think I poured about 6 gallons of sangria last week. Nice. Sangria is a solid option. Brandon, shake that might be right. Yeah, I think so. Cool. All right. So, Cheers Hotel. What's your February cocktail? And tell us the recipe also. I made a video for Valentine's Day the other year. Let's see if we can grab that link to that shake Valentine's Day video. Did I make a Valentine's Day video? I know I shot it. I don't know if I actually posted it. It might be one that's still on ice. Let's see if we can find it. I forget. I have so many videos up. I forget which ones I've actually put up that I've shot or not. So there's like Valentine's Day ones, which there's kind of it's like a martini. It's more of a Valentine's date, very spicy. I think we made it with what did we do? We did, I think we did a sweet, almost like red hot based, like, not old fashioned. What did we make? It was more of, what did we put in it? I think it was like a Manhattan. So I think it was like a bourbon with a little tiny dash of red vermouth and a little dash of bitters, and then just a little like 1/4 ounce of like Fireball, or you can even use like any cinnamon liqueur, and then like rim the glass with crushed up like candy hearts, or you can do crushed up red hots, and then use a little bit of, you know, I think we used like Caro syrup to just make it stick on there on like a martini glass. And you basically just shake that like a Manhattan. So it's basically like a cinnamon Manhattan kind of. I don't think I actually put bitters in it because that'd be weird. So there you go. You can do that. 2 ounces of bourbon of choice, 1/4 ounce of like Fireball, and just a little dash of the sweet vermouth. Shake it like a martini and strain it, or like a Manhattan and strain it. And then you could put like, I don't know, like hot tamales as like a little garnish. Drop it in there, something like that. So that was what I made for February, because that was a Valentine's Day cocktail. So there's a Valentine's Day cocktail for you. Recipe, Cheers Hotel. Asher Flynn, what's the weirdest drink you had to make? I think a lot of drinks are very weird. The weirdest shit comes from people that are inexperienced drinkers. So like young people that will come ask for you to make some weird combinations of stuff that doesn't really work. So it's just like too much sweet or too much booze and not enough flavoring agents. I don't have a particular one that I remember that jumps out at me. The weirdest stuff is like hard drinkers have the weirdest habits too. So like people that love making huge wine spritzers out of like a really nice glass of Chardonnay, or you know, they'll just what's some other fucking weird ones, just insisting on top shelf cognac and then putting like Coca-Cola on it or something. Like, oh man. So I mean, you know, people have weird stuff all the time that they drink. I tend to, as like a bartender, I don't judge it, so that's why I'm having a hard time remembering it. It's just like you're just in a routine doing your thing, and it's not about their weird drink, and it's not about what drink I think is weird or I think is best. As long as they're having a good time and they're enjoying what they're drinking, that's all that really matters. My lovely Padilla, not 18, but I want experience. Would a barista look good on my resume when the time comes? It would look good because it's relatable to the service industry, which is what you're going to be in. However, it's not going to be looked at necessarily as like bartending experience. So there's a couple of videos that we have that I made that are about like how to get started with no experience. I'm sure Shake, if you could grab the links to like the working bartender, or not working bartender, like how to become a bartender playlists in those little mini series. So you can take a look at those, lovely Padilla, because it talks about how you can start doing parties on the side. At 18, you can't, I mean, unless you're in certain states, you're basically a few years out. And I always tell people that are in your situation, if you live in a state that's 21 plus, your only options really that you could do to help yourself are to check out that playlist that Shake just put up. But you can start working in other positions in an establishment. That's not just a bar, right? You can't go work in a nightclub or necessarily, but you can work in like a restaurant or something. And you can start working as like host or a food runner or a server. Because once you're in a position in an establishment, moving into other positions is just a matter of time, and you letting the ownership know that that's where you want to go. And so if you could get a job at a place that you would love to bartend as like a host or a food runner or whatever, then you're in there and you can start learning the trade. And the more positions you work in, the more valuable you're going to be to an establishment, because you understand this is all just a big team effort and you're all working in a business together. And the whole point of everybody's job, whether you're a bartender or a server or a cook or a busboy or a dishwasher, is to make that business run as smoothly as possible. So the more stuff you understand about around the whole industry, the better you're going to be prepared to do any job. And maybe you get in there and you start working as a server and you're like, that shit looks terrible. I don't want to be a bartender. I'm going to stay over here. Sometimes servers and cocktail waitresses, which you can do at 18, at least in California you could, you can make more money than bartenders, depending on where you're at. So who knows? Get involved in the service industry any way you can. It's going to be the best thing. And then otherwise, don't worry about it too much other than that. And maybe do some parties on the side for your friends and see if you're into it. Seared tuna and a Sauv Blanc, like your style, or some James Cashin. And that's more like personal preferences. So like I was trying to talk about, I mean, yeah, fish. And I mean, fuck, we can go into, I want to turn this into a cooking show. Taylor Richardson in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see y'all. We talked about a lot of drinks around the time of B-Day, but no, I thought I made one, Shake, that was actually a Valentine's Day cocktail. Peruvian cat, what up? Yo. Yeah, maybe I didn't get it up, Shake. Maybe I shot it and it's not. Maybe I haven't put it up yet. If you search Valentine's Day and it doesn't come up, then it means I haven't put it up yet. Oh, there's a name I'm gonna fuck up here. Ayua. I had someone last weekend order a shot of 3rd Bailey's, 3rd Midori, 3rd Chambord. Ooh, yeah, see that? Bailey's, Midori, Chambord. Actually, that would be kind of like a grape creamsicle thing almost, but with a Midori, it would be like a melon creamsicle thing. Whew. Sweetness, super sweet. That would definitely be one that's, so you get shit like that all the time as a bartender. It's not like you keep stock of like, whoa, that's the weirdest drink I've ever heard. You just look at it. You just get used to all kinds of people drink all kinds of weird shit. So, Lee Leland, 67, retired, won a bartending job. Used your resume format, but no offers coming my way. Is my age the major factor, do you think? I think it's definitely a factor. I don't know if the major factor of it is just necessarily your age. But as you get on in your years, the types of establishments that you work in will change. So I always tell people that are coming to bartending later in their life to look at a place where the patrons tend to be close to your own age. And that's where you're gonna have the best chance. At 67, going into like the hottest club in whatever town you live in, you're gonna be fighting an uphill battle. Doesn't mean you can't get there or that you couldn't work anywhere that you wanted to, absolutely. It's just that you might not be the first choice. And this is completely, not like it's discriminating in the hiring, and it's completely illegal to discriminate on, age, race, sex, anything like that. But it happens all the time in this industry. So I would say it is like in someone that's a little bit more mature in their years coming to this to think about places where the atmosphere is more sophisticated. So think fine dining, think like hotel restaurants or bars, think, I don't know if you live anywhere near the coast, cruise ships, tour companies, what are some other good ones? Golf courses, just where it's a little more of a mature atmosphere. And then the biggest thing is that you have to keep following up, Lee. So you can't just go once and drop off a resume. You need to go drop it off, and you need to try to find, my notorious thing is find a list within a half an hour of your house that's 30 establishments long, and drop a resume, follow up with them all once a week for a month, then cut it back to every 2 weeks, and then cut it back to every 3 or 4 weeks, and just keep following up. And if you follow up with a list of 30 or 40 or whatever places, on a bi-weekly basis, within a month or two, they're gonna know you, they're gonna remember you, and they're gonna give you a chance. So, and then, that sounds like, holy shit, that's a lot of effort to get out there and do that and pound the pavement like that. It's like, yeah, absolutely. Getting a job is a job. So it's not something that is insurmountable, but unfortunately with the nature of the industry, it is going to require you to be a little bit more selective and think a little bit more outside the box of the places that you might be able to work at. So Justin Lopez, what do you do on these live streams? This is it, brother. I sit here and we just open format question and answer. There is no agenda. So you guys ask questions, and I will answer. My man Shake is here helping me out, moderate, and that's it. We can talk about bartending. We can talk about the weather. We can talk about whatever you want. We usually talk about bartending now. So it's useful if you have specific questions, Justin, that people like to ask on the videos that I can't always get to. So, yeah. It was really just kind of a way for me to stay engaged with you guys while I'm going through this kind of transition of moving from San Diego up to Oregon and changing gears until I get reestablished up here and I can move into my permanent house where I will build a full bar again, and then I can start shooting the regular videos again. And a lot of people like them and keep turning up and get some good questions from you guys. It gives me a chance to also talk directly with you to see what you need and what you're wanting to learn about. So this little stint of live streams that I've been doing for a few months is going to help me moving forward in when I start getting back to the regular content creation side of this stuff, and then I'll be able to directly specifically go speak better to you guys, because there's a lot of very similar questions that come through this when we do these live streams. So it's a little bit just kind of, you know, you can ask me direct questions and it gives me a chance to really feel out what you guys are really wanting to learn about. Eder Alvarez, nobody has vermouth to martinis nowadays where I'm from. Has this been a trend with vermouth going bye-bye in martinis? Yeah, for sure. That almost all martinis are made basically extra dry or just completely, you know, no vermouth at all. Very, very little. I know your classic recipes, depending on what book you look at, there's anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 ounce of vermouth in martinis. So they've kind of evolved to just the vermouth goes a little bit not there as often. Although, however, I have noticed a little bit of a curveball of vermouth coming back just for nostalgic in those places that are very hip in trying to reinvent old cocktails. But yeah, in terms of vermouth going bye-bye in martinis, classic martinis, I definitely noticed that. Absolutely. My wife is a martini drinker on occasion, and she will order them with no vermouth at all. And yeah, all of her friends that drink martinis, same thing. Cheers, Hotel. Thanks for giving answers, buddies. Juggling really needed to do a bartender job. Not really, but it's fun. If you can juggle some limes, those are great juggling tools. Leland, middle of Iowa. Hit mostly dive bars. Pretty active biker. There you go. See, there's good. That's a good one. Hit those biker bars. Dive bars that's another one that's worth mentioning because the age range is kind of all over the place. The biggest thing is just keep pounding the pavement, keep following up, go in there and be a regular at the places that you want to work at. Not like sit there and get smashed all the time, but like go in there for lunch and just start to slowly talk, you know, be a regular, a good regular who's not drinking too much, very much at all. But just become a regular, get to know people, because in this job, in any job, the first factor in you getting that job always comes down to who you know. And now maybe sometimes people that get hired at a place, a lot of times that nobody knows anybody. But if you know somebody, then your chances of getting a job anywhere or in some certain establishment or in some certain place that you want to work at, it will definitely help if you know people for sure. So I'd say, Lee, just start kind of doing a little time of getting to know the owners and the managers and the bartenders in the places that you want to work at. And just keep pounding the pavement. Keep pounding the pavement. Asher Flynn. I only have a handful of mixed drinks in 4 years. Wait. I've only had a handful of mixed drinks in 4 years. I've tried beer, wine, straight up vodka, or tequila. Is that something you recommend a bartender should at least try the most common drinks? Yeah, I think so. I think if you're not like, you're obviously not a big drinker, which is a good thing. Because what you'll find is when you get into this industry, there's a lot of massive problem drinker, like alcoholics and substance abuse that is rampant in this industry. All sectors of it, all jobs, creeds, colors, nobody's immune to that. So as long as you're not like completely against it, I think it's actually a good thing because it will help keep you straight-laced when other people might not. And but if you don't have a certain personal reason why you wouldn't, then yeah, you know, I definitely recommend you try as much stuff as you can. Try your own stuff, and even just a little straw with a little stick tip in there and just a little taste, or even you don't even have to, you know, you can just dip a straw in there and taste it. You don't have to have lots. You don't have to finish the whole damn thing. Is my point to try it. So I recommend you try as much stuff as you can, for sure. Shake says his housemate is very specific and he requires vermouth. Yeah. Taylor, so I did it. Took a bartending course. It's been really fun. And they have a bunch of connections and foots in the door when you're done. I know, they all say that, Taylor, but come back and report if that's actually the case and if they help get you a job, which I hope they do, because I know some places do actually have some connections on occasion. But good for you. Taking the initiative, educating yourself, getting comfortable with the routine, the scenario, the kind of feel of the whole thing. Good on you. Committed to the cause. I like it. Header says, yeah, it seems like the new standard is vermouth is only added if requested. Yeah, I mean, I still made my traditional just straight up Sony ordered martini. I would just do like just a little bit of the swirl and dump kind of technique. Just a little bit of swirling and dumping, so there's just a little whiff in there, not really even a flavor of a whole lot. So that's super common. Yeah, good on you, Taylor. Got a job straight away. Good job, girl. Right on. See, some people just right time and place, and that's all it takes. Asher Flynn, I'm extremely lightweight, so I can't drink a ton of drinks. That's okay. Don't need to. It's cool that once you pay for the course, you have a lifetime membership basically in which I'm allowed to go back and practice with the bar equipment, making drinks at any time I want. That's pretty cool. That is a common kind of model of where the bartending schools are evolving into. There was actually one in San Diego that it does a similar thing, and they actually they do a lot of the training in a bar, an actual bar, at a club down there. And they do the class before the bar opens, which is, you know, it's like a nightclub, so they don't open until, you know, I think like 5, 6, 7, or 8 at night or whatever. So they would do it in the daytime, like afternoon or morning hours when there's nobody there. So they actually got to learn and be behind a real bar, which was cool. And I think they actually made some real drinks on occasion and trying some stuff. So right on, Taylor. Good for you. Congratulations, girl. Cheers. Yep. All right. 7:42. So we always do that. Coming up on the last call, y'all. Not yet. So if you're hanging out and you have some questions, throw them out there. And I'll make sure and get them answered for you. Kevin Grundle, is a barback more than a buster for the bar? Yeah, definitely. I mean, buster for the bar is definitely a way oversimplification of what the barback does. The barback is, I like to think of them more as the assistant. They're my assistant. And so my assistant makes sure that I have everything I need to do my job at the highest level possible. So they make sure that I have all my booze, glassware, ice, silverware, anything that I would need to do my job, actual, you know, beer, wine, whatever. That's all you need. And the barback, just make sure that stuff is all stocked and all good to go. So I always thought as our buster, our barback, as our assistant. So that was our and sometimes they'll actually have you start mixing. Like our barbacks would actually start making drinks. So it's something that is, yeah, Pavin, speak out loudly, please. Yeah, turn up your stuff, man. We did a sound check earlier. Turn up your radio or your whatever. And so anyway, yeah, barback, more like an assistant than a busser, but they do bus. You do bus. You do clean. You do stock. You do a lot of the grunt work that when bartenders are flying around out front, you're just kind of behind the scenes helping them do their thing. We got a video about how to be a successful barback. If you want that, let us know, Kevin. We can grab a link to it. Yeah, cool. Getting through it. Right on. So what else is new? The key to this whole thing, like we were talking about with Lee, really is to make sure that you go out there and pound the pavement, and not to worry too much about the drinks that you think you need to know. This is very much more a customer service job than it is about how many drinks you have memorized. So understanding how you fit into the context of a larger business and being able to understand how you can best accent and help that business succeed, and then being able to articulate that to an owner or a manager will be unique and will help get their attention when you go in and talk to them when they ask you the question. Not saying that they necessarily ask this question, but in a roundabout way, they'll ask, why should we hire you, right? That's what you're doing. You're going in there, knocking on the door, begging for a job, and they're gonna go like, why should we hire you? And it's because you understand this is about a customer experience. This isn't, you don't immediately start going, well, because I know everything about this and I know all these drinks and I've memorized all this shit. It's like, no, you talk about them. You talk about, because I know that this is a business and that you specialize in blah, 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 and that the customer experience is the most important part of this. And I've done my work to make sure, or, practice, whatever, phrase this your own way. Like, I understand that I want to, help facilitate a good time for the customer so that they come back and we can create repeat business, because that's how the business succeeds, because really that's what they want to know. They want to know that you're going to be committed to them and helping the business do well, because that's what really matters. Because if the business doesn't do well, then we don't make any money and we don't have a job. And so understanding that this job is much more than just how many drinks you have memorized, and it comes down to customer experience, making sure the customer's happy. Brandon says, with barback mixing in that every establishment, or was that just yours? No, that's not every establishment, Brennan. So barbacks definitely do not always mix. I would say that was actually not very common, but it does happen, especially if your barback has been there for a while and if they're of age and the owners and establishment trust them. And if it's just like super busy, they wouldn't do it all the time, but just like when we were, there's 4 bartenders and we're all is just in the weeds basically and getting our asses handed to us. Our barback, like once they made sure everything was good, they would start grabbing people and making drinks for stuff, which again speaks to the basic nature at most bartending situations. Right? There's not like some real complex shit that you have to learn to be a bartender. This is real basic stuff. And once you get into it, you'll realize that it's just hanging out, chatting with people, And then if it's busy, then you want anybody who can to jump in and start taking care of people. Kevin Grundle, thanks, great vids. Thank you, sir. Watch a bunch, look into barback, get my foot in somewhere. Can you give some insight on how managers react to people moonlighting? I mean, I have a day job and we'll be looking for evening shifts and weekends. It's pretty normal, Kevin, in the industry. Super normal. A lot of people come to this industry specifically because they need that situation. Sometimes places will need your availability to be a little bit more open because they might need you for days or nights or whatever. And if that's the case and it doesn't fit with what you're doing, then you might just have to say like, well, sorry, I can only do nights and weekends. And if it's not a fit, then it's not a fit. But it's super common. You know, a lot of people go to school. This is how they work their way through school. A lot of people have day jobs, or they have like family, kids, whatever, and this is the best time for them to work. And it's very normal for a lot of people to have something else, whether it's school or another job or family life or whatever it is. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that, Kevin. Yeah, exactly. And as long as you're upfront, like Shake says, with them from the beginning, then a place that is a good fit will accommodate that for sure. So no worries. All right, 10 minutes, last call, y'all. Got a question? Throw it out. Cheers. Remember, we do these every Tuesday, 8 p.m. No, 8 p.m., sorry. That's the old time. 7 p.m. West Coast United States. That's Pacific. I guess we're in daylight time, Pacific time. West Coast United States, 7 p.m. every Tuesday night. Jumping on these live streams. Remember to follow on all the social media stuff at Bartending Pro, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And obviously this one, YouTube and Instagram, are the main ones. My man Shake helps on Instagram a lot and YouTube. Thank you, Shake, brother. Appreciate it. And yeah, so we'll give you 5 minutes cut off for the questions, but looks like we're winding down. Looks like everybody's got their stuff answered, which is good. So if that's the case, then we'll wrap up sooner than later. Yeah, remember, get out there, knock on the doors, follow up, pound the pavement, make it happen. Don't worry about what you think you need to know and don't know. Just start making it happen, because this job is way easier than you think in some regards, right? In terms of like the knowledge that you think you might need to have. And it's also going to be probably a lot harder than you think in other areas, in stuff that you just don't know until you're there. And it's nothing to be worried about, and it's nothing that you can really prepare for until you're actually in an establishment. But just the challenges of the management or the ownership or your coworkers or whatever can come up. But my point is, don't let any of that distract you or discourage you from not going out and doing the most important thing, which is actually just knocking on doors and following up with people. This is the single most important piece of advice I can give anybody who's trying to get into the industry. Just go knock on doors and talk to as many people as you can and continue to do so. Cheers Hotel. Lovely Padilla, thank you for the words of wisdom. You're very welcome. Cheers Hotel. It's my first time watching your live video and I've fallen in love with your speech. It kind of feels good. I'm 18 from India. I also want to get inspired. Well, thank you, Cheers Hotel, although I am a married man, so we'll keep it professional. But thank you, I appreciate that. Kevin Grundle, you have a Patreon account? I do, however, it's not really active because I haven't been doing anything to the channel except for these live streams, and I kind of don't feel like I should be charging people on Patreon for these live streams. And so the Patreon page I'm actually going to retire. It's still officially there and up, and I just haven't had I want to make a proper video to explain what's going on. I do have it, Kevin, but you don't really need to sign up for it. I'm not charging anybody on the platform at all. And my business professors were like, "You're leaving money on the table." It's like, yeah, but like I said, a lot of this of what I do is this is a contribution thing. This is like a giving back thing. If people really want to support me, they can go sign up with the bartendingblueprint.com website, which is where I just basically have just organized all these videos into a sequence that teaches you the, you know, logical, must-need-know stuff to get you prepared to bartend. But other than that, you know, just showing up and being a subscriber and telling all your friends that want to learn how to bartend about the channel, that's all I can ask for. So I appreciate that. Cool. All right, y'alls. We're gonna do. Oh yeah, and you can super chat me, Kevin, which is like you can tip me on the comment thing, the little $sign down there if you really want to. You don't have to. I'm just saying. Shake put it up there, so thank you, Shake. But we'll leave it at that one for tonight, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the live stream. Remember, every Tuesday, we'll do this one next week. And in the meantime, get out there. I want to hear some good stories about you looking for a job, or even just going out and watching some bartenders do their thing and report back what you learn. Cool. Thank you, Shake, for helping out there. Stay safe with that blizzard coming at you.